I Good morning. Welcome to Goal Set Facilitator, Dr. Jacqueline Johnson. I am going to be presenting for you goal setting. So welcome all that are on board with me. Let's get started. So here's our breakdown for today. To do the introductions, so we know who's icebreaker. Talk about what goes about the different types of goal setting. Mm, to how can we use them effectively? Goal setting activities. Look at to our inquiries. Ask all the questions you know the answers to. And surveys are important as they allow serving him to in an effective way. And then I will session, contact information about me. I am Dr. Jacqueline Johnson. I have over 3 decades as an educator, and I create. I have multiple years of a minister and entrepreneur to provide educational enrich help them on their individual journey in their growth to goal setting. Before I session, I just want to offer a little disclaimer. Doctor, and I do not prescribe medical as a coach and an educator. I will aid you in your journey to wellness. So, mics, your videos are optional of your surroundings as they can be distractions, and place all questions in the chat. Objective for today. Our objective for this gain information about goal setting and having new tools and how to learn how to set and use SMART goals. A little icebreaker. What is goal setting? Goal for this, for you taking this workshop, can it be accomplished in this session? And what is your plan for achieving? So, simply, or for taking this workshop is to disseminate some information so you know how to how to apply their daily activities, their dreams, and their. Can this be accomplished in this? Absolutely. With the tools that will be able to walk away today yourself. What is the plan? Is your plan to achieve the goal? To be active listener, to be activities, and to have fun goal setting. So what goal setting is simply the taking an active step to achieve a desire. So if you have dreams and goals of put some goal setting tools in place, work those tools to a completing our desired outcome. So let's move it about SMART goals with some information that will help specific and what it is that you are trying. So let's talk about the acronym. SMART stands for specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, timely. So when we talk about what is it that you really want to accomplish? Why is it important to is it important to you? What steps will you take to achieve it? So that reality comes in. That's where that comes in, where you are working toward that those steps take step by step. And we're going to talk a little bit very shortly. Real, that is an action-oriented verb. Done. Is it something that you that so when we talk about realistic, we want to make that you can actually do. That would it be realistic for me to touch the ceiling without doing any act in order to reach it? That would be. However, if I want to touch the ceiling, I would, I would have to either stand on a ladder, something that would create an action, realistic, obtainable goal. Timely. By when will you? So when we're talking about timely, we're talking simply that we are in fact around it. Do I want to touch the ceiling? Now, to someday grow tall enough to touch this goal, to get the items I can touch the ceiling in a particular time is what we're talking about. Putting a time when I want my goal to SMART goal. Keep in mind, SMART. So when we're talking about SMART, goals can include three types of goals. Short-term goal, that can be or within a few days or within a few months, what the goal is. Midterm, in between stage, as we are progressing, moving long-term goal. And our long-term goal, it takes a little longer to get in a little bit deeper on a three goals discussing today: short, mid, examples of short, mid, and long. If we are thinking of taking a trip, short-term goal, we can say we will do that for a year. If we're thinking of, we can say, okay, by the end of the week, I'll go to the bar. If we're thinking about getting, that can be a short-term goal, term on it, depending on the time frame. A midterm or a refer to put a deposit on a house, a little bit of savings sometimes in order to get to that owning a house. Start thinking about it within the first 3 years, implementing it midway through 5 year. We could be taking a break from work. Now that can be a short-term thing by taking a day off. It can be maybe a leave of absence, or a long-term thing. So those are things that we can do to move mid and long term. Those examples. So here's some more long term, short term, and mid term to these. So on the screen, A short-term loan, you lend me $5 and I'll give it back to you by Friday. Or could you lend me $1 and I will make some midterm payment so that by the end of the 5 years, those items can be paid, moving us from our short to our mid. So when we're talking about short-term goals, the rent, well, maybe I will rent 6 months to a year. As I said, was a mortgage payment, which would be a bit of time. So rent could be maybe 1 to 2. Mortgages are generally 20 years, 25. Your arranged time that you name it. When we look at insurance, some insurance payments, if you look at every month, you may have money coming out, insurance payment, but long term be insurance payments, perhaps utilizing your life insurance. So they have where there is just a small window you can use that particular insurance, and some insurance, which is your whole looking at household. Some household appliances last one, and some household appliances last 4 to 5 years, and then you have some house, your pipes and your plumbing that may last time. So when we're looking at things from a short-term point of view, as things, putting it on it. There we go, back to our SMART goals. Putting time frames around each of these facts, we are coming to an end. Thing that we're setting a goal for, there is an end. Starts your beginning, your midterm evaluating, or your re-engagement between your short and your long term. So as we move on SMART goals for ourselves, we're going to make sure that we're. So an example I give is I want to buy, when do I want to buy a car? I'm going to get around that to make sure that it is measurable. So I want to buy a car in the next, is it doable? We look at placing a budget so that we are able to make either payments, is the car outright. Make sure that it is said in fact due. If you $25,000 car, however, put down on it and pay the car notes, all right, is it in fact? So making sure that we are wrapping our goals around is realistic. To ensure that we are putting time frames are able to achieve these goals that we are setting. Important time. So here are some important SMART goals. When remember, we have a short, a mid, and fuse within our SMART goal. Clear and very specific about the things that we and it always make sure that we include all of them. Sometimes we miss a step, our goals to be delayed. Who will this goal impact? Doing this goal for someone else, or are we doing it for us? Is in line with the goal will impact? Or are we trying to achieve? Okay, I want to go somewhere. Enough, go where we are identifying the specific to move towards and what we do. Like if I there, but I haven't identified specific, then that leads me right back to just a dream and a thought. But if I say I do London, specific as to where I want to move myself into the posture of when do, where in London. Yet again, I'm being very, very specific. I want to go. Why important? If we don't have our, we want to do this. Sometimes we're spinning a wheel, but we're not going anywhere because we don't have our, which is our ending point. Why? When you are creating goals. Wow. That's where your midterm goals come into place. Those are very important. Lining up with your long-term goals, you're moving into state. So you start out, what you evaluate, re-engage, look at your mid, and then your long ending point. What is it that your ultimate get done? What are goal settings? Why do we need to do that? Why can't we just get up and just do things? Goal setting is important because it reads that you want to achieve in life. It helps you to stay focused. It boosts your aggression going on and your plans are coming together. Allows you to be accountable for this to reach your end goal, and dreams seem easier to obtain. So we're going to move from our dreams, move them into our hopes, and direct and achieve the things that we have in this life. So let's do it. How can we start today? Identify specifically what it is or we want to get accomplished. We can set our short and our mid and our lows in sight. We can write them, can reassess them, reevaluate them to make sure that we are still moving in the direction we want in order to obtain. So I saw this quote and I thought it was a great quote today. Writing our dreams with deadlines. Keyword deadlines. So when your long-term goal, that is that's your stopping point for that that you want to get achieved. So as to remember that we are infusing our short in order to meet our deadline. Guide, a quick overview, and a quick remember how to use SMART goals and how to get our goals process in process mode. Make sure we write them down. Does it seem unnecessary to do this step? However, depending on if you have goals, it is important to that you want to do. Place it on a vision board, see it, and you can watch the progression get accomplished, as opposed to trying to keep it all in there to navigate whether in fact or not. Step two, apply your specific, measurable, attainable, make sure relevant, and make sure you have a time. Super important to have a deadline to accomplish. Create, but before you create a plan, know that some obstacles that may come up if you skip some steps. Make sure that you identify the obstacles and to reevaluate, revisit, and ask the obstacles that you may have. You have to change your goal or adjust in a different way so that you are able to move past those obstacles. So identifying that your goal stops, it's you are identifying a hiccup about something that you need to do to move past obstacles and keep moving toward. Continue to monitor your progress. Super important. It allows you to see how much further you have to go. So let's do a quick. When we are talking about goal setting, we're talking about embedding motivation within yourself, the things that you want to achieve. Play make them real, move them from a thought and create them complete. People set goals, anxiety, in order to help them out the vision as they plan out. They can see it unfolding. So goal setting allows you to see your progression as opposed to you think you're moving towards the end, made any progress. So that's super. Watch your goals on. So making sure that we are being very intentional in incorporating our specific, more realistic and timely goals. Short period of time, a midway, a long-term period of time, and your dreams on sometimes quicker than you can imagine. Put them in order in a place so that you know what step comes next. Important to um, break all of your big giant goals, small portions, and that's where your short term comes in because you're chunking into a smaller bite-sized piece, not feel overwhelmed and try what may be a large goal that you're trying to. So I want to impart 4 R's that I've come up with, and I'm wanting as you are planning out your goals, there are short-term goals, long-term goals, whether you're planning those things out for you to are in fact